Hi Taurus, welcome back and welcome to another reading. This is going to be your general read for January 2024 for those of you who have a Taurus sun, moon, or rising. And as we always say, if you don't have one of those placements, stick around. There may be something here for you, something that you can take away from this reading and apply to your life. Because the aim here is that all of this is helpful to you, useful to you. So, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being present, because that's a huge part of it too, right? Without you, the magic can't happen. If you'd like to support this channel, the link to my PayPal is on the About page. You could also watch an ad or two and like. Subscribe if you'd wish as well. Knight of Wands and the Magician. You have all of the will, and you have all of the resources, and you have, here it looks like, plenty of time. And that's what it comes down to, right? Are you going to actually take the steps? Is this something that you're willing to work on? Here it looks like you really want to. It looks like it's the right thing to do. I think that nothing is going to go right until you make it right. Nothing's gonna go well until you set it right, until you say it right, until you do it right. And that can be a challenge. Why? Because when we've gotten so used to something being dysfunctional, we can find ourselves at times becoming complacent, or we have this kind of learned helplessness about the situation to where we feel like there's nothing that we can do to make it better, there's nothing that we can do to impact it, and then we just stay there. But this is all just a frame of mind, and it's a trap that we're all prone to falling into. It's a lesson that we all have to learn at some point. We're all presented with that, and it shows up at different points in your life. It shows up in different forms, and where once there was a lot of time to do something, you find yourself now short on time. Time is of the essence. There's a sense of urgency here. No justice, no peace. And you're going to always find yourself in this contentious energy with someone, or this energy of competition, as the longer that you continue to not focus on what matters, what's really meaningful. You allow yourself to be distracted. You allow yourself to be confused by, all of these excess details and excuses. And it's all really just masquerading as happiness and masquerading as contentment, because you haven't really gotten to the source of it. It's like there's all of this mess beneath the surface. It looks like greed, it looks like emotional manipulation. A feeling of abandonment. It wants to come out. We'll look at these again. Hold on. Alright, so we're back to talk about your cards one more time. We'll take it section by section, and we'll start in the top left up there with the Knight of Wands, the Justice card, and the Seven of Swords. Now, these first three Taurus are about you really wanting to make it right, you really wanting to work, but understanding that there are just some things that maybe you can't impact for whatever reason. Maybe it's because you ran out of time. Maybe it's because it's an uncontrollable variable, and this is a variable that doesn't have any wheels on it. It can't be manipulated. It can't conform. It's unwilling to conform. Therefore, you cannot control it. Therefore, it ends up being futile. All of the energy that you exert on the thing. So there are the things that you're able to work with and the things that you just can't do anything about. And, you know, those things that you can't do anything about, I think that you should release yourself of them. Or at least just, so what do I mean by that? I think that if it's truly not anything that you can impact with your behavior in a way that's not going to compromise yourself or make you, vulnerable in a really dangerous situation, and it's completely based on things outside of you, let it go. Don't think about it like you're doing it for them. Don't think about it like you're doing them a favor. Just do it for you and release yourself of that, because you can't make people behave a certain way. As much as you can influence them, as much as you can encourage them and say XYZ to them to make them identify with their potential and capability, sometimes you just can't make them see it. And there are those other times when it really works. Four of Swords, Hierophant, and the Eight of Pentacles, it's like the work never ends. I don't know what this thing is that's on your mind, but you're mulling it over a lot here and trying to decide, what you need to do. How are you going to fix it? How are you going to make it better? Five of Swords, King of Wands, and the Six of Swords. So this is that, if you were wondering, like these three cards look like something that you want to make better. Whether that's your relationship with the person, or it's your pride. And letting go of the desire to be in charge or to win or to be in control. Just being willing to put that down and really open yourself up. And I think that that's the only way that you're gonna move past this. And I don't recommend moving past it. I recommend that you move through this, that you process it, that you see it for what it is, and that you understand you can no longer ignore it. I think that you know that. I think you know what you want to do, but knowing what you want to do and knowing what you should do doesn't necessarily make it easy. But you're so strong. You're so strong. And look at you in the middle of this reading. front and center, top center, doing the work. So there's no question here about your capability. There's no doubt about whether or not you can do this. It just goes back to, do you want to, and are you ready? And that's how you're approaching every single situation, because you've heard it all before and nothing is new to you. And I think that acting like you don't know or pretending will, it's not going to help. Forget about how it looks from the outside in. Forget about these ridiculous ideals you have about what it means to be happy and what it means to be the head of the household, the head of the pack. And just try some tenderness, especially where a Cancer is concerned. There's a Cancer here that needs to be considered. There's a gospel song that is coming to mind. Precious Lord, take my hand. Lead me on, let me stand. I am tired and I am weak and I am worn. They're tired. I think that you're tired. Being kind is really quite easy. I think it's something that it's definitely something that needs to be practiced. And I think that people who don't live in this energy where they're constantly thinking about how their words impact people or how their actions impact people, and how they're coming off in that sense, not how they're being perceived for what they have. So like, you see, there's a difference. It's like, yes, you should be concerned about the opinions of other people, but the way that concern looks is, how am I impacting the life of this other human being? Am I impacting their life positively, or am I impacting their life negatively? Am I influencing them for the better? Am I influencing them for the worse in the long run? And what does all of it cost? What does all of it cost at the end of the day? It costs you nothing to be kind. It's really easy. And I think that we forget, especially when we're used to being blessed, we forget the ways in which we have benefited from the kindness of strangers. And these are people who have practiced that same thing. These are people who have worked at it that same way. So you must pay it forward. And I think that it's really, time that you start beginning to forgive yourself and get your head out of the clouds, and make up your mind and get your feet on the ground. And once your feet touch the pavement, begin to walk forward and begin to take actionable steps and do the thing, make it right. I almost want to say, why are you here? Because I think that And acting like you don't isn't fooling anyone, especially not you. So if it's not working, then why are we pretending? Okay? Bye.